I'm just going to get you to do an additional phase of processing of the LivingWorks files that you're working on. And so I've processed some of them, but if you log into my email, you'll see here the ones that I haven't processed, but we'll do this one here. You don't have to email them to me after we work through these ones. You can just finish them and then do this additional process at the same time. So I'm just going to open this one up and download it. And we'll just take a second to bring her down. Okay. And then mine, because I'm using an Apple, it just does this. Yours would probably pump you right into to Excel. So I'm going into my downloads. I'm going to open it up, and there it is. So when I upload these, what I do is I don't actually use the scan time, and I don't use the sales profile, so I delete those. So I have ID profile and public profile, and I don't use the middle name, so I delete that one as well. And then I come to the end, and then I put in here LivingWorks campaign ID, and then over here I put in campaign like that. Okay. And then, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this company. So it's the Tulare County Office of Education. So there we go. I'm going to log into LivingWorks, and I'm going to search it. And then when I search it, usually the campaign will show there, and then I'll just click on that. If it doesn't, then I click on the account. Then I go to show all campaign history, and it should be there. And if it's not there, we've missed out making it, and we have to make it. I click on it, and then up in the URL between the two backslashes, I want to copy that. And it's always tricky. Got to make sure we get all of the numbers. Control C, and then I come back over here. There it is. And then in there on the LivingWorks campaign, I put that all in there. When it has a number if it has a letter at the end, I can just double click the bottom corner and it'll populate. If it has a number, I need to copy it, because if I double clicked it, it would change that number. And then we'll just come down here and Control V, put that in there. So that's good. And then I'm going to come to also have open my instance, the OGL, Oil and Gas Leads instance of Salesforce. And then we can type in LivingWorks. So LivingWorks Education. And then again, when I go to campaign history, I have this one here, AAS23 West Target Accounts. And that's, I don't know if I want to, I shouldn't have used that one. But anyway, we'll click on that. And then what I want to do is what I can do is I can either copy it from up here, or I can say details, and then I can just go ahead and I can highlight it, Control C, and then come over here to the spreadsheet. And then I'm going to get rid of this one here. And then under campaign, I'll put that in there. And then that's the and then that one has AA, so I just double clicked it on that side of it. So there we go. It's ready to go. I'm going to save it. What I do is, again, I'm just going to save it to my folder. You save it where you want. We need to make it a comma separated file. And then I like to just put the word load at the end, just because you send me the file and it differentiates it. So there we go. I've loaded it. Now this is a new process for you, but it's gonna become pretty repetitive. I'm gonna want you to learn it. I'm gonna go back to the POEM or the OGL instance, and then I'm gonna come over here in the top right corner, and there's this little gear, and it says setup, and I'm gonna click on that. Then I'm going to go down and I'm going to say, hey, let's go to setup. And then over here on the quick find, I'm going to go data import. So if I typed in a whole word of data import, the data import wizard, I'll just come back here. Data import wizard will be there, and I'll click on that. So now we're going to load this data into my instance of Salesforce. And then you'll come to this landing page, the data import wizard. Down here, this button, launch wizard. There we go, click it again. And then where we're loading these is we're loading them in as leads. So we're going to select leads. And then what we're doing here is we're adding new and updating existing records. And then the two things we need to do here is match leads by email. So you've put an email in every one of them. And then assign all leads to campaigns. So we're going to click that as what we want to do. And then over here, what type of file is it? It's a CSV file is what we saved it at. I'm going to change choose it. So there it is. And then, so now I've attached the file, and I'm going to come down the bottom right, and I'm going to say next. And now we have to match the file, the Excel file, to Salesforce. And this first one here, we're going to change it. We'll X that one out of there because we don't want that anymore. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to type in LinkedIn. And then this says LinkedIn ID. There's LinkedIn ID. So we're going to, or it says ID. And I know that that's LinkedIn ID. So I'm going to map that one. Next one is the profile. I'm going to map it. And then I'm going to type in LinkedIn again. And then this time it's just the word LinkedIn. So that's the field that we have, the LinkedIn profile. Here, public profile. I'm going to type in LinkedIn or start to type it. And then I could scroll this up and down a little bit. At the bottom, I've got my public profile. Everything here is all good. We're going to get to the unmapped. And I'm going to say LinkedIn. And then what I want is company ID. On mine, it's always the first one, and it's highlighted in blue. So sometimes it's a little hard to find because it's under the blue. And then we've got location. I'm going to map that, and then I'm going to say LinkedIn. And then down here, I see LinkedIn location. Zip code. I'm going to map that, and it's actually postal or zip / postal. So I just typed in postal, and then it came up with that. And then phone. I'm just going to type in phone, and then there's the phone number right there. And then I'm going to map that. Everything else should be good. If you forgot, if this was off a little bit, you could just type in LW and that will come up. And then that, as long as you typed in the word campaign, that should come up. Bottom right hand corner, we hit next. And it takes a second to do it. And then we just hit start import. And then that one is done. What happens after you're done and we say okay is it keeps us on the data loader, so we don't have to go to the setup every single time. Once we've done it once, we can see our data import wizard is here, and we'll start from there again. Click the data import wizard, and then you can load the next account. In my email, what I'm doing is after I finish doing the school, I'm going to check it, and then I'm going to delete it. So that way I know that I did that particular one. So if you can work your way, load up these ones here that you sent me, and then just kind of finish the top 10 for Oregon. And I'll send you another top 10 list for kind of Washington, and then a little bit later today, and we'll keep it rolling.